Hey everybody, what is up? It's been quite a long time since I've made a Destiny video. With my last video talking about why Destiny was almost a good game, I was almost wrong about it, but ultimately I was right in that the sequel was more or less a disappointment coming from the very polished Destiny 1 Year 3. But because I am a fan of the Crucible in Destiny 1, I wanted to try it in Destiny 2, so I picked up the game on a whim. Did some grinding to get myself to level 20, have a few legendaries, an exotic or two, and I find that ultimately I'm enjoying Destiny 2's Crucible, at least on the PC. I can't speak for the console crowd because I don't know, but on the PC, it's pretty good. To the point where I would make the argument that Destiny 2's current Crucible, matchmaking, Trials of Osiris, and Iron Banner notwithstanding, is better than Destiny 1's. And so on another whim, I thought I would make this video and give you guys like 4 or 5 reasons why that may be. And then we can talk about it in the comments, because I'm sure people have their own opinions about this, and that's okay. I mean, but that's what my channel is all about, you know, IMO Gaming. Reason number 1, I feel like 4v4 is a better balance rather than 5v5 or 6v6, and that's not saying that there shouldn't ever be another 5v5 or 6v6 mode. I'm just thinking that from a balance and competitive standpoint, that 4v4 for the relatively small maps that Destiny 1 and Destiny 2's Crucible is populated with, that 4v4 is a better balance, it is less chaotic, and you find yourself dying less, because less is just more manageable. There's a little bit more downtime, a little bit more opportunity to set up flanking and strategy that in an otherwise more chaotic environment filled with more enemies wouldn't be as possible. Reason number 2. Destiny 2's weapon loadout system. In Destiny 1, you had a primary weapon, a secondary weapon, and a heavy weapon. The secondary weapon in PvP was usually almost always shotguns or sniper rifles, with heavy weapons being stuff like rocket launchers and heavy machine guns. In Destiny 2, it's radically different. You have a primary weapon, which could be anything from a scout rifle, auto rifle, pulse rifle, hand cannon, to a very similar gun that just has an elemental affinity to it, but is maybe a tad stronger, or it's completely the same. Either way, it feels a lot better that everyone is running around with, say, like a pulse rifle and an auto rifle, or an auto rifle and a sidearm, compared to, you know, whatever people were using back in Destiny 1, and then a shotgun as a secondary weapon. Or depending on the map, everyone rolling snipers. There's much less one-shot kills nowadays, unless you're using a heavy weapon, which is few and far between, because when somebody on your team takes the heavy ammo, it only gives it to them, not the entire team. So, again, yeah, it definitely feels more balanced. Reason number 3. Because of reason number 2, the skill ceiling is higher. Now, why do I say that exactly? That is mostly due to time to kill. Time to kill means how long it takes for you to down somebody from full health to 0 health. And with the Destiny 2 meta being primarily filled with weapons and abilities that kill you in over a second, it takes a lot longer for you to kill somebody from full health to 0 health than it did in Destiny 1. And in Destiny 1, there were weapons that existed that could kill you in less than a second. This isn't as much of a thing. It takes now between 1 and 2 seconds to down any one given person, as long as all of your shots are headshots. And because of that longer time to kill, skill takes a bigger precedence in any 1v1 situation, which is why some people have coined the current meta as the team shooting meta. It is by far the most effective or efficient to roll with at least one of your teammates and to focus your fire onto one person or 2 people using your weapons and or abilities. People are complaining about this because they miss the days in which in Destiny 1 they could run around with their shotgun, slide around corners, and one-shot you from 10 feet away. And I personally feel that that is completely antithetical to objective balance. I mean, sure, it was fun for you, who was maybe doing the shooting, getting that quick kill, that satisfying insta-death, but is it really fun or fair for the other person who really could do nothing about it? That's the thing. In Destiny 2, you can do something about it. Whenever you start getting fired upon, you always have that chance that your aim is going to be better than your opponent's. And if he misses even just one shot, it could mean the difference between your death or you surviving. And it's not like shotguns and one-shot abilities don't still exist. I mean, you have grenades that can stick to people, that can kill them instantly, but it takes skill to use. You have your super, which definitely kills people instantly without really much effort at all, but you can only use those maybe once or twice a match. And yeah, you still have your shotguns, sniper rifles, and rocket launchers, but the odds of you getting more than a few rounds per match is pretty low. But hey, that's balance for you. That's how it works. And then there's reason number 4. And this is exclusive to PC players, sadly, but reason number 2 is the fact that it's on PC, and that it plays so well, and that it's a great port, and that aiming and moving with your mouse and keyboard, and having that extended field of view up to 105 degrees, just, it feels so good. It's so responsive. Like, man, this has to be one of my favorite shooters on the PC just for how it feels and plays and looks. In any 1v1 shootout that I'm in, when I win that shootout, I feel like it's because of my own personal skill and less because of controller auto-aim, and I love that feeling. I live for it. Or when somebody uses blink to get around me, or above me, or behind me instantly, and I can just instantly whip around using my mouse and aim at them or melee them down. That's not something I could really do before, unless I was like at the high sensitivity, and even then, I had to see it coming. And then there's the constant 60 frames per second on my modest computer with an i5 and a 1060 3GB GTX. It runs more or less like a dream, with most settings maxed out. I'm sorry, console players, you probably won't be able to relate to this particular talking point, but hey, any Destiny 2 content that I may make on my channel is going to be PC-centric, so it's really more or less going to be aimed at those who primarily or only play on PC. Nothing against the console guys, it's just that that's kind of how it is. There are differences, and it would be, I don't know, a little dishonest if I didn't talk about them. And besides, you console players got to play the game over a month ahead of time, so I don't want to hear no complaining. And then reason number 1. Because I said so. I mean, really, there's actually no reason number 1, not one that I could think of. But that's what I get for making this a more or less off-the-cuff video and not planning it out ahead of time over a day or two. But regardless of the 4 or 5 reasons that I feel that Destiny 2's Crucible is in a better place, that doesn't mean that Destiny 2's Crucible is just simply better overall. I would just make the point that or the argument that it's more balanced. There are a lot of issues currently plaguing Destiny as a whole, and some of those issues definitely bleed over into the PvP landscape, like matchmaking, lag, issues with trials and or Iron Banner that I have yet to deal with, but I'm sure that I will probably touch upon. But ultimately, I wanted to make this video because I've been on Reddit. I've been on the Destiny Reddit, you know, talking to some people, and I have come up against people who say that they want the Destiny 1 style of Crucible, where you could literally run around with a shotgun and just one-shot people from 10, 15 feet away due to god rolls. And I'm just like, how was that better than what you have now? And so I decided to make this video just for those who either are unsure as to whether or not it's more balanced, or maybe hold the opposite opinion. We can have a little discussion about it. We can talk about it. I'm totally down with debating in the comment section down below. Now that Bungie's treachery has finally mostly been all pulled out into the open, and they're getting a lot of scrutiny and a lot of criticism, I feel like there's a chance that they might bounce back from this, or completely ruin the game and then ruin the series and completely ruin their reputation. Either way, it will be an entertaining ride, whichever course they decide to take. Their first course of action, which I find is more or less mostly positive, is alongside the release of this upcoming DLC in a few days. They're releasing a bunch of free content that will improve the game greatly, much in the same way that the Taken King improved Destiny 1 a lot. So I will likely come back and comment on that when it happens. But for now, give me your thoughts down below about the Destiny 2 Crucible PvP. Let me know what you think. We'll talk about it. If you want to play with me, feel free to add me in-game on PC. IMO Gaming, that's my my Destiny handle. If you liked the video, if you enjoyed it, then you know what buttons to press down below to make me happy as a YouTuber. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more Battle Right content and Destiny content, and I will see you guys soon.